Next
I was looking forward to this one. This is one I haven't. Sometimes we do repeat questions. I haven't heard anything about this, so I'm looking forward to hearing this one.
Next one, Jason Turpin. The subject is Gary Coleman in WCW. Disco, I played that promo you cut on women buying clothes from Target to my girlfriend the other day. You guys now have heat. Be careful what you say, Disco. The ladies love Target. Well, that makes my point. Is that here's a fan, and his girlfriend buys clothes at Target, like it looks like the so the fans look like the wrestlers in AEW is what this guy is basically just admitting. My question is about Gary Coleman's appearance in WCW. Coleman did a run-in for that 70s guy during the Fall Brawl 2000 and took a guitar shot from Jeff Jarrett. Borash told an interesting story about how Coleman was such a diva backstage he tried to pay Jeff Jarrett money to actually Jeremy Borash told an interesting story about how Coleman was such a diva backstage he tried to pay Jeff Jarrett to actually hurt Gary with the guitar. That doesn't make any sense. Who tried to pay? Hang on.
Borash tried to grease Jeff to give Gary.
Oh, that's what it's saying. So Borash is saying he's the one that tried to pay him 50.
Yeah.
Coleman was a pain in the You guys had big roles in this pay-per-view. Do you guys remember meeting Gary or dealing with him backstage? If not, how hard are those guitar shots to take? Thanks. That's for Jason Turpin. The guitar shots are not hard to take if you hit him in the middle of the. Jeff is known to hit people correctly. He's given a lot of guitar shots. They're all very safe. I don't recall anybody getting busted open. But he landed right where he's supposed to, right in the middle of the guitar. And Gary Coleman was a pain in the that day. He absolutely was. He totally was a diva. I'll never forget that. He was like, he just acted like a big shot, you know. But it was Gary Coleman. So
it says here, Gary Coleman informed me, Jeremy Borash, that under no circumstances would he utter the phrase "What you talking about, Mike Awesome?" as was scripted, stating that his popular catchphrase was in his past and he moved on. He doesn't say that anymore.
Well, I remember that I had seen Jeremy backstage, and he was telling me, bro, this guy's a pain in the And so I remember that I went and I met him, and it was too short of a meeting for me to tell you if he was or if he wasn't. But I do remember this very specifically, that he had to bring him to some store to buy him a toy.
A train and hobby store, it says here.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
He had to actually bring him to a toy store to buy him a toy. He's a grown man, by the way. Mm-hmm. But he's probably one of these grown men that has toys in the background. Like the other day, this other guy was like, oh, I can't believe that. You know, because he sent me I don't know if you saw this picture that Mike Durbin sent. A whole bunch of guys that looked like they were Lego figurines. I saw that, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I buried it. And some guy from some figurine thing was like, why are you burying toys and all this? And he goes, what do you got against figurines? You know, we don't play with them. We collect them. And I go, because I don't have nothing against people that collect figurines, toys, dolls, whatever makes you happy. I go, but I outgrew that, just like I outgrew comic books and catching frogs. I mean, that's just something I don't do anymore. You know what I'm saying?
You're going to piss off the comic book people now again, like I always do.
Do you want to hear?
What's the piss off? I don't, dude. If you like to do it, collect them.
There is this kind of like condescending anger that comic book people always like to respond with if you point out that, like, hey, you know, like, let's be honest, like, you know, comic books were designed for kids.
Well, yeah.
You know, like when you become an adult, it's like, you know, but then they made it because there's people that never want to grow up. They decide to make adult comics, and people like Shane Helms will buy these things, will spend hundreds. Look at Raven.
Or they just want to remind or stuff that reminds them of their childhood, which is cool. That's why you see so many people go to Disney World as adults, and they're and they're taking pictures with Mickey Mouse. And I'm like, really, dude?
I don't think.
But like this one guy was telling me, and this could be true. That one guy, I forgot his name, but he does listen to the show. He was like, well, one of the reasons I collect so many now is because when I was young, I was poor and I couldn't afford it. Now I can. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Then that's cool for you.
Right.
You know, I mean, I don't collect that. You know, like they'll send me stuff, and Kevin Kleinrock will send me stuff from Mass Republic, and he'll say, look how cool this Konnan figure came out. Look at the, you know, I'm like, all right, I don't want to be a, but I'm like, all right, this is not really that cool to me. You know what I'm saying?
It's toys.
Right.
You know, it's like my nephews would be like the ones that would like, you know,
I'm not into that.
That
like
reminds
my grandkids.
Me, we're gonna get Kevin or Ruben on this week for sure, because Expo Lucha's come. I think it's this weekend, so I definitely want to get one of those guys on.
Yo, what up? This is Konnan, and I host Keeping It 100, my co-host, Disco Inferno, unfortunately.
Well, I'd say you're my co-host.
Listen, every Thursday here on Spreaker, we talk pro wrestling, sports, movies, music, TV, pop culture, and some politics. It's everything the rest of the pro wrestling podcasts are not.
Tune in to hear myself, the superior one, educate and inform.
Tune in to hear me bury Disco.
That's very disrespectful.
Join us every Thursday on Spreaker and keep it 100. Boom!